If there is one thing that I really love to do more than anything else, it is just pore over data, just constantly looking over all the stats, just trying to find any patterns, see what works, see what doesn't. I am a stat rat at heart. Probably some of my favorite videos that I've ever come out with have involved me just poring over racingreference.info's data. I mean, hell, the whole Airbase Speedway trilogy started because I was just looking at all the data on different NASCAR tracks. And YouTube has some great data for you to pore over if you want to in your analytics tab. And while doing this, I noticed that there was a certain type of video that just really underperforms more than any other. And this goes back to a decision that YouTube made in 2020 regarding the minimum video length for a video that could get mid-roll ads. A mid-roll ad is just an ad that shows up in the middle of a video. You probably are going to get one in this video. Used to, it was 10 minutes, but then they shortened it to 8 minutes. The idea was this would encourage people to put more mid-rolls on videos that normally wouldn't get them. And another thing that people thought would happen was because YouTube was allowing mid-rolls to be on 8-minute, 9-minute, 9.5-minute videos, this would push them into the algorithm more. It's pretty common knowledge that the longer your video is, the more likely it is to end up in the algorithm and do really well. I mean, pretty much all my most successful videos are 15, 20, 25, 30-minute long ordeals. The Airbase Speedway trilogy being the one exception, being, 11-minute, 12-minute long videos. But my thought, and everybody else's thought, was these 8, 9, 9.5-minute long videos would do just as well as the 10, 11, 12-minute videos. And they haven't. Is it really worth it to do them? Short answer, no. Long answer, well, let's take a look at the data. All right, so what you're looking at here is just a simple display of some of the videos that I've come out with. Their total number of views here, video views after 30 days here, the length of those videos, upload year, and I was going to take a look at how much money they made per 1,000 views and to see if they stacked up right. But so long as a video has one mid-roll ad, it doesn't really matter if it's 20 minutes long, 11 minutes long, 8 minutes long. It makes about the same amount. I was going to enter in all this data, but it was pretty much all just the same. It hovered high 4s, low 5s, somewhere in there. I did have one video. Where the hell is that at? What exactly is a late model? And that video got like $6.20 per 1,000 views, despite the fact it only has one mid-roll ad. That's just an outlier. I don't know why that happened. I thought I might have had 2 mid-rolls on it, but I looked and it did not. So yeah, that was a little bit weird. So you can see clearly here, video views after first 30 days. This is what matters because total views, some of these came out, 2020, 2021. Some of these came out 2022. That could affect the total view numbers because some of these just had a lot longer to work with. You can see here, compared to some of my 10, 11-minute videos and their first 30 days, I mean, these are all like at least 80,000. Sometimes 6 figures. My hometown track is closing down. That's the one outlier here. That was like 54,000. But even then, that's like 7,000 more than the highest sub 10-minute video that I have. The last great achievement left in NASCAR, the Curse of the Daytona Triple. And this is a small sample size, I know, just 5 videos out of the 75, 80 mainline videos that I have out. But this is what I have to work with unless somebody wants to give me their analytics to pour over, which I would actually really enjoy, honestly. I could probably have a lot more data to work with. So I know Iceberg, Jarrett, you follow me on the secondary channel, hit me up. If you want me to go over your data and everything, send me the Excel spreadsheet. I'll figure something out. But you can tell that YouTube really, really, really likes watch time. And how do you get watch time? The length of the video. You can see that here. Kevin Harvick kind of ruined the Busch Series as 13, almost 14-minute long video. Alan Kawicki destroyed NASCAR in the 90s. It's like a 16.5-minute long video. These are doing really well. The Ballad of Clint Boyer, 23-minute long video. Kind of underperforming compared to these other ones here. That's like a one outlier, but is NASCAR heading for a split? That's my latest video. By the way, it did 126,000 views in just the first 16 days as of recording this. That is that video is schmovin'. So it doesn't even run into like total video views or even first 30 days. There's another outlier here. What does it take to compete in NASCAR's weekly racing series? 16 minutes, 50 seconds, and that video bombed. I have no idea why. Actually, I do know why. I uploaded it like 2 p.m. on a Saturday or a Sunday instead of my normal like noon time. And I think there was football going on, and that's why it never took off. But even here, you see these 10 and a half, 11-minute videos. You know, NASCAR short track problem, 115,000 views first 30 days. That came out in 2022. That's about on par with, you know, what exactly is a NASCAR modified, 124,000 views. That came out in 2020. So I thought maybe there might be a difference in the algorithm. Maybe it went after 10-minute long videos more in 2020. But no, it's still doing pretty good here. Just last year, you know, top 10 most gorgeous car models in NASCAR history. That came out just this year in January. 12-minute video, first 25 days, 81,000 views. Not bad. On par with what exactly is a late model, the case for returning to Greenville. It's about what we expect. There are some extenuating circumstances for our sub 10-minute videos, though. This first one here, Mark Martin chases the Intimidator one more time. That was part 2 of a series. And typically, if you do like a series of videos where you're telling a longer story, but you're breaking it up into 4 or 5 parts, and each part builds off the last one and builds towards something bigger. Typically speaking, those videos don't do so well. You can go look at Secret Base, their history of the Seattle Mariners. Those videos do pretty good. They get hundreds of thousands of views. But when they compiled it into a supercut, it got millions of views. You know, that one supercut did better than pretty much the entirety of the rest of the series combined. So that's kind of what I did here. So you see the Mark Martin Apologetics Tour. There's part 1, part 2, part 4, part 5. And you know what? They're not doing so well, even though they're pretty long, right? So that's these just individual series episodes just don't do so well. But then I put out the supercut, which is an hour long. It's an hour long, and it does like as much as like the first 3 parts combined. There, here's all the total video views of the 4 parts, the 4 main parts. There was a 5th part, but that was like an older video that I added into there because it was just talking about the 1998 season. And so as of right now, the supercut has almost as many views as those 4 parts combined. And it has 1 less year to work with. So if you're going to make like a series of videos, it's better to just kind of put your eggs all in one basket and just make one big ass video. Or you could do what Secret Base does. And, you know, I followed their lead, you know, just release the episodes individually. And then a year later, you do, you know, the supercut version. Oh, sorry about the microphone. You do the supercut version. And it does way, way better. Like almost all the time. It's crazy. Yeah, they did that with the Fighting in the Age of Loneliness, the history of mixed martial arts. Individually, didn't do so hot. As a supercut, millions of views. Every single time, man. It's ridiculous. Another extenuating circumstance, that one was a mainline video. That was fine. NASCAR's most dominant performance deserves a closer look. That had the cleanest thumbnail I've ever made. I'm proud of that thumbnail. That thumbnail was gorgeous. Did not get the views. Even like approaching this May, it'll be 2 years since it was out, and it'll be probably hovering around 105,000 views. Also, views per 1,000 views is way up. More people stayed and stuck around for the mid-roll ad for that one. That one came out on a Saturday. Normally, I upload on Sundays to, you know, that's just when I have most of my subscribers watching. I'd put that up on a Saturday because that was the Saturday before the Indy 500 and the Coke 600, you know, greatest day in motorsports, when nobody's going to be watching YouTube during that time. So I'm like, all right, got to put it up on a Saturday. And it was in the middle of the Busch race, the Xfinity Series race at Charlotte. So nobody watched it. A brief history of spam. That was April Fool's Day. Typically, my April Fool's Day videos just don't do that well because nobody expects them because it doesn't look like something I would put up. One exception would be the Smash Brothers, the worst Smash Brothers tournament. That was a video that did like absolute dog first 3 weeks, and then it took off in the algorithm, got like 100,000 views in a week. The algorithm's weird, man. I don't understand it. I think some Smash players got a hold of it, and they started spreading it around, and then the YouTube algorithm's like, oh, people actually like this. Let me push this out there, and then Playland Park Speedway Slap on Location. Slap on Location always gets like dog views. Just the way that it is. It has a very dedicated hardcore fan base, but outside of that, most people don't like it. I'm actually thinking about ditching the name Slap on Location entirely. I'll keep doing the series because I like doing it. You know, I like going out to these old racetracks that have like, you know, the grandstands like tucked away out in the woods, and you're out there exploring for them. It's fun. I like doing it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to distance myself from the Slap on Location title because you put that in there, it almost assures that this video is gonna just bomb. So this one, and this one all have something extra with them that probably bombed them. The one that didn't is the one that did the best in the first 30 days. Even it didn't do as good as pretty much all of these except the ones that were part of a series. These didn't do so well. But when we're talking about, you know, 10 plus minute videos, 10, 11 minute videos, yeah, these are doing far better than even the best case scenario for my 8-minute videos. So let's go back and look at the long answer. Is it worth it to do 8-minute long videos? So after looking at the data, is it worth it doing sub 10-minute videos? I would say no, except we're in the content creation business. The number one rule of content creation is to create content. Sometimes it's worth it just to put out one video that you know is not going to do all that well because you just got to put something out there. And one thing I will say about my 8-minute long videos, 8.5, 9.5 minute long videos is I liked making them. I liked making them. I liked doing the product and all that. I don't regret any of them. You know, they brought in views, they brought in subs. Wasn't a whole lot, but you know, they did make money. They did get eyes on me when I wasn't getting eyes in the a week or two before I put them out. So yeah, you know, if you just need a stopgap, if there's something that you want to do that's kind of going to be a shorter form video and it's only going to be 8.5 minutes long, don't expect the world from it, but you can put that out there and it'll trudge along and it might get 100,000 views after a year or two. Yeah, if you got to put something out there, that's what you might as well do. However, I wouldn't do it too often. The thing about the YouTube algorithm is if you start putting out a certain type of video and your viewers don't like that video and they don't watch it, this will eventually end up killing your channel. I've seen this happen to DigiBro. I've seen this happen to Skyman Slash. They changed what they were doing. They start putting out shorter videos. They changed their almost entire format and people didn't like it. And instead of going back to what worked, they kept trudging along and their channels are basically dead now. I think DigiBro went from 900,000 subscribers to down to like 300,000. You know, Skyman Slash, she's come out, she says, like, yeah, I got a dead channel now. It is what it is. I'm going to do whatever I want, and, you know, that's that now. So, yeah, if you do, like, these short-form videos twice a year, it's not going to hurt you. But don't make it your mainline content. You know, keep doing what works. You know, and we saw in the data, if you can make your video 10 minutes and 1 second long, that is going to infinitely help you rather than just settling for like 9.5 minutes. So let's talk a bit about what you can do to pad out your video length. Obviously, you could have like an intro, you could have title cards. That buys you like 5 seconds here, 5 seconds there. You don't want to waste people's time, obviously. So you could always, you know, add in something else, add in a different perspective. You could look at the main thesis of your video and look at it from a different angle and deconstruct it. You know, that's always fun if you come at a video trying to make a certain point and then you like flip it on its head and like, hey, does this still make sense this way? that's always an option. But here's a very nefarious thing that I've been doing, and it has helped me out a few times. And so far, nobody's caught it. Nobody's called me out on it. But you can take your finished video, your final product that you've rendered, you've exported it, it's ready to go. Put that back in Adobe Premiere or Vegas or whatever your video editing software of choice is, and slow the playback speed down to 98%. You'll gain 10 or 12 seconds of extra time. And you know what? Every second of watch time matters. When we're talking about tens of thousands of views, every second adds up to minutes, and minutes equal hours, and that could be enough to push you over the edge for the YouTube algorithm to actually like what you're doing. Again, I've been doing this for a year and a half now, taking videos and slowing them down and to 99% speed, 98% speed. It's imperceptible, and nobody's called me out on it. But that's just something you can do to give yourself a little bit extra watch time and hopefully kind of give you to push you over the edge to get that 10-minute mark. I always suggest to people, make sure that your video is at least 10 minutes and 1 second long. Because sometimes YouTube will chop off half a second down there at the end, and that might make your video 9 minutes and 59 seconds, and then it doesn't get pushed in the algorithm because YouTube doesn't like, sub 10-minute videos. So is it worth it to make sub 10-minute videos? Not really. But if you have to put something out there and there's no way to pad it out for the extra 2 minutes, minute and a half, go ahead and put it out there. So long as you're not ashamed of the product and it's something you wanted to do and you like it, go for it. I mean, that's what YouTube's all about, right? It used to say it right there, broadcast yourself. So if it's something you want to do, by all means, just go for it. I mean, hell, I put out a video about how much I love Chainsaw Man. It was like 5 minutes and some change. I knew it wasn't going to be picked up by the algorithm, but I just wanted to frickin' do it. And it's on my secondary channel, and you can watch it, right up here, right now. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Hope you learned something. I hope I gave you some decent advice. If not, I don't know what to do, man. I just wasted your time yet again. At least I didn't slow this one down to 98%. I promise I didn't do that this time. Anyway, I'm Slapshoes.